FX has been making some really great shows like Always Sunny, Sons of Anarchy, You're the Worst, which is one of my favorite shows of all time, Man Seeking Woman, Atlanta, A Teacher, which is actually a show that James and I made a video on if you want to check that out. And they have some great shows that I want to see, like Under the Banner of Heaven and Reservation Dogs. So FX has been putting out some great shows, and this year's The Bear is no exception. The Bear centers around Carmy, played by Jeremy Allen White. His brother recently had committed suicide and left him his restaurant, The Beef. His dead brother's best friend Richie is pretty content with the restaurant just being a hangout spot for the regulars and the community. He's not really interested in it improving or changing, and Jeremy's character is really trying to set it up for success and change things, so that's where the two butt heads a lot in the beginning. Actually, Jeremy is the only one at first who is trying to change anything. Everyone else who works at the restaurant is fine with the way things are, so he is a huge obstacle for them in the beginning. They don't necessarily hate him, but they definitely don't like him. First off, everyone in this show is great. Even characters you don't get huge in-depth looks at, like Tina and Fack, you still get a good sense of who they are, and I think that's because there's always something going wrong at the restaurant, so you see them when challenges are presented to them, you see them in high levels of stress, and you also see them in calmer moments as well as when things are actually going well. And because of that, everyone feels like a real person, and the kitchen feels like a real lived-in place. You see how skilled Carmen is in the kitchen, and you see him handle things, but you also see him explode and not handle things very well, and he has to pull it together so things don't escalate further. He has a lot going on underneath the surface, which is always interesting to watch. And Sydney is also a very talented, skilled person, but has her own shortcomings that she needs to work on. Lionel Boyce's character Marcus is the baker at the restaurant. He actually is really inspired by Carmy being there and his attention to detail and perfectionism. So as this show goes on, he's trying to improve his baking skills, trying to learn how to make donuts and different cakes. He has been at the Beef for a while, so he definitely keeps his head down and has a much cooler head when things start to get crazy. Richie was actually the biggest surprise for me. He's such a douchebag in the first episode or two, and you get to learn a lot about him, what he's going through, how he goes through the world, and they're, like Carmy, a lot underneath the surface that you don't see right away. And he became a very sympathetic, interesting character. And I think it's interesting where, yes, the brother's suicide is hanging over Carmy and the rest of the people at the Beef, but there's also so much going on that it's all just sort of unsaid. You know, there's never a moment where Carmy's freaking out and he goes, yeah, well, my brother's dead. You know, it's actually like subtext, and you know that that is going on in the back of Richie, Carmen's, and even Tina's mind during situations, and I think that is just a huge credit to the writers, directors, and the actors. Another strong point of the show, which again credit to the writers, directors, and actors, is the balance of drama and comedy, where the comedic and more lighthearted scenes and moments never feel out of place or forced, and there is a great consistent tone throughout the entire season. The fast-paced, intense scenes in the kitchen especially give you a sense of urgency, while not resorting to the overused quick cuts, close-ups, muffled noises, which can be effective, but it is refreshing when a show does something different, like longer takes where you get to see the characters in real time react and make decisions. The show also just has really cool style and good coloring. The show starts with a dream, and there's this cool transition from the dream to Carmy waking up on the countertop at the restaurant, and it's just cool. Like, it's a good show. On a technical level, it's really good. On a story level, it's really good. And I just think it's refreshing, honestly, as unfortunate as it is, to see an original idea just be well made in a world where there right now are so many new Marvel, Star Wars, Disney Plus, Marvel comic book things out there. It's just really cool to have a fresh, original idea. So for those who have not seen it, I highly recommend it. And for those who have seen it, what'd you think? I would love to discuss it more in the comments below. Thanks for watching.